If you are trying to figure out student loan repayment plans, trust me, I know it can be super confusing. So in this video, I'm going to cover the different types of student loan repayment options for you and the resources that you need to know to help you make the best decision for the right plan. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to The College Investor, the place for investing and personal finance for millennials. Student loan repayment plans can be really daunting, especially because there's so many different options out there. So before you get started and jump right into a repayment plan, you'll want to discover different options that could help you make the most of your repayment plan game. So there are a couple of different resources. Let's dive into them. Okay, the first resource you'll want to look into is just going through your student loan servicer. Now, loan servicers aren't always well known for their customer service, but they will have resources and information available to you to look at different repayment plans through your servicer portal. Next, you'll want to take a look at Loan Buddy. Loan Buddy is a free tool you can sign up for, and depending on your circumstances, you can fill out a form and get started. You'll discover different repayment plans that might work for your situation. And unlike a lot of tools, it doesn't automatically push you into refinancing options. So check out Loan Buddy. It could help you make a decision on your student loan repayment plan. Lastly, you'll also want to check out refinancing marketplaces. Look into companies like Credible or LendingTree. Keep in mind when you refinance your loan that you could end up extending the life of the loan, which means you'd pay overall more in interest, but you'd have a predictable monthly payment. Okay, so the resources that you should check out before you decide on a plan is your loan servicer, a free tool called Loan Buddy, or refinancing marketplaces like Credible or LendingTree. Okay, now that we've covered the resources, let's jump into the 4 major repayment plans that you'll most likely see when it comes to repaying your loans. The first one is the standard repayment plan. This is standard. This is the one that you'll probably default into if you don't choose one of the other options. You will be on a 10-year repayment plan, which means you'll be making 120 monthly payments over the course of 10 years. This option is where pretty much everybody falls into, but it's also for borrowers who make more than what they owe. They can easily pay off the amount because they are making more than what they owe in student loan debt. The next option is the extended repayment option. So the extended repayment option is when you do a direct consolidation of your federal student loans, you end up extending the life of the loan between 10 to 30 years, depending on your loan balance. Keep in mind when you decide to do the extended option that you are extending the repayment time, which means you are also extending the amount of interest that you pay into this plan. So this option could work for borrowers who owe 1 to 1.5 times more than their annual earnings. The third repayment option is the graduated repayment option. So this is also on a 10-year repayment plan, much like the standard repayment plan. The only difference, a big difference here, is that your payments early on in your repayment terms are going to be significantly less. And then gradually, over time, your payment amounts are going to increase. This is all on an automated timeline, so you don't get to pick when this happens. This happens for you. And what's frustrating about this option is that early on in the repayment terms, most of your payment is going towards interest. So you're not even making a dent in the principal until later on when you get closer to that 10-year mark. This option could work for borrowers who can't afford to make the minimum payment on the standard repayment plan, so they could opt for the graduated repayment plan in this case. Okay, the last major repayment plan actually has a bunch of sub-repayment plans inside of it, so I'll go over those. This is the income-driven repayment plan. This one's probably the most complex, so let's go through them. There are 4 different types. There is the revised pay-as-you-earn, income-based repayment, pay-as-you-earn, and income-contingent repayment. If you are pursuing public service loan forgiveness, which we've covered in another blog post, you'll want to check out and be in one of these income-driven repayment plans. That's how you qualify. So these 4 options, it doesn't always make sense. That's when that free tool Loan Buddy comes into play, because it can help you figure out which income-driven repayment plan makes the most sense for your current financial situation. So let's go over the first one, the RePAYE, revised pay-as-you-earn. Payments are capped at 10% of your discretionary income. So that's different, the discretionary income. It can be used in combination with public service loan forgiveness, and you'll have 2 different repayment terms depending on what type of loans you have. If you have an undergraduate loan, then you'll be on a 20-year term. If you have graduate loans, you'll be under a 25-year repayment term. This could work well for high income earners who also have high amounts of debt. So think lawyers, doctors, that sort of thing. The next income-driven repayment plan is the income-based repayment. So if you started borrowing after July 1st, 2014, your payment is capped at 10% of your income, and you'll make payments for 20 years. If you borrowed before July 1st, 2014, then you'll also make payments 10% capped at your income, and you'll be on the 25-year repayment term. And then the payments must be less than under the standard repayment plan. This also can be used in combination with public service loan forgiveness. The next income-driven repayment plan is the PAYE method. This is the pay-as-you-earn. The payment is 10% of your income, and your repayment term is 20 years. If 10% of your income is more than the payment under a standard repayment plan, then your payment is capped. That's it. You can't go any higher than that. And then after 20 years of payments, on-time payments, then the rest of the student loan amount is forgiven. The last income-driven repayment plan is the income-contingent repayment plan. So there's 2 different options here. Whichever is less for you, this will all be calculated. It's either 20% of your discretionary income, or it's a payment on a 12-year fixed plan. This also can be used in combination with public service loan forgiveness. So after a maximum of 25 years, the amount left over is forgiven. A side note about taxes on any of these income-driven repayment plans: whatever amount is forgiven after the end of your terms and you've paid on time for the 20, 25 years, whatever plan you're on, the amount that is forgiven will be taxed. And that's because the IRS views the forgiven amount as income. This is a big bummer, because that year that the amount is forgiven, you'll most likely owe in taxes, and you could owe a significant amount if the amount forgiven was significant. So be prepared when that year comes that you'll most likely pay more in taxes. Okay, so those are the 4 repayment options, including all of the sub options for the income-driven repayment plan. Which plan works best for you? Comment and let us know. If you are looking for more student loan information and resources, check out thecollegeinvestor.com.